I had a brother message me and send me a very heartfelt message. And he let me know that he really appreciated the channel because he said it's just real. It's just real life. He said there's no introduction, there's no frills, there's no production. He said when I'm watching your channel, he said I really get the impression that I'm watching you. That you're not going to be this person behind, on the camera, then off camera or something different. And you're right, this is not a production. I don't do this, you notice how you don't ever hear me say likes, subscribe and share. Y'all don't do all that. When y'all gave me this vision of this channel, he gave me a vision, first of all. It wasn't just something that I decided to do off of a whim. He gave me the vision of this channel, and I followed the vision. It started off with family and talking about family a lot, and I told people when we were in Arizona, I had purchased land and people didn't believe it. And now I'm here, and a lot of the subscribers that left came back like, wow, you actually did it. Yes, I don't just talk. And I hope you understand that this channel is not a frill channel. It's not a news. I'm not a news station. I don't cover the news. The things that I talk about are the things that directly impact me, my family. I come from the word of Yah. The word is what I live. I live this life because of the word of Yah, because of my forefathers. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I tell you that I follow Yahshua because that's what I do. That's the name of the channel. I follow Yahshua. Nothing about this is just, ooh, look at me. This is not a business scam, a marketing scam. This is just real life. And I hope that people are understanding it, just like the brother did. I hope that you're understanding that this is just real life. And no, you're never going to see a introduction. You're never going to see me edit my videos. Outside, my editing on my videos is pushing pause, going to the next place, and doing it. The sisters do a better job of cutting and splicing the videos than I do. And that's because they'll be doing multiple things in a day. So they'll be, putting together multiple things. But I'm not about all that stuff. I just film it and post it. But the question he asked, so bless you, brother, and thank you. I am honored and I'm humbled that my videos have been a help to you. I'm honored and humbled that what we live has been a help to you. It really is. I really am honored. I just the idea that Yah would use me because of the person I once was and now who I am now. I'm humbled. But this video is about the coronavirus. I was asked, following Yahshua, why aren't more people talking about this coronavirus? And honestly, especially more people in the faith. And honestly, I think that a lot of people in the faith have plans. They're just not going to share them on YouTube. Neither will I. They're not going to go and share everything that they plan on doing and how they plan on doing it on YouTube, which seems to be a very popular thing. Let's share everything that we're going to do, every plan, every move we're going to make on YouTube. That's not it. That's not what I'm trying to do. You lose OPSEC. You're letting the whole world know what your plans are, what you're going to do at 3 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock, and if somebody comes to the front of your property, I'm going to act like this and do this. The Bible simply says, the prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself. The foolish one passes on and is punished. The Bible also says to come out of her, Yah's people, be ye separate, touch not the unclean thing, and Yah will receive you. He also says, if you come out of her, you will not be a partaker of the plagues, of the sins, and not be a partaker of the plagues. This coronavirus thing right now, we're not getting all the information on it. I can tell you for a fact. I know for a fact that the information that they are putting out is not all the information. When in the medical field, there are things called HIPAA laws. And now I know a couple of states are using the HIPAA laws to not release confirmations of the coronavirus. So they're not necessarily letting the health departments know. Instead, they're bypassing and going to the CDC, and the CDC decides whether they want to get rid of whether they want to disseminate the information or not. I can also tell you that there are quarantines going on. I believe in Westchester, New York, there was a voluntary quarantine of 26 people. They're voluntarily quarantining themselves. There was one in Georgia of a voluntary quarantine. We're not getting all the information. And those quarantines are not put out on the national news. It's local news. You can look it up on YouTube or Google, and it's local news. There are a lot of people who aren't making moves, and then it's like a hurricane. Once it gets big, if it gets big, then they're going to want to run to the store and buy OSB and buy their generators and drive and jack the prices up. I tell you this, a country like China is not going to destroy their economy, quarantine millions, over 100 million people for the sake of it. 2,000 deaths and 70,000 confirmed infections. Yeah, right. They're saying that these tests don't even, they're giving false negatives. Who knows how far this thing has gone? But I will say this. Come out here. See, being separate from all of this is a benefit. Being separate away from people, getting away from the masses of people, there's an advantage to that. First of all, holiness, setting yourself apart to Yah. But also, you're getting away from the plagues that are coming. We got locusts. I mean, they just entered into China. They've gone through Africa. They said a man watched his farm disappear in 30 seconds from the locusts. Pakistan, call a national emergency. We've got a lot of things. And food scarcity, if you don't know about the Bible, it's all over the Bible. Second Ezra chapter 15 and 16 talks about it. Matthew 24 talks about it. We know in the time of Elijah, it happened. When Elijah went to and had that lady and her son, that lady made she said she was about to make her last morsel of food, and her and her son and die. The story of Joseph. Food scarcity is not a new thing. In fact, in the story of Joseph, it talked about how the food became so scarce that money lost its value. People had to sell themselves and their possessions to get food. See, these things are going to affect the world's economies. It's going to affect. I mean, people in China aren't working. Where do most of our things come from? China. A lot of the things that go into the medications, the psychotropic medications, the medications that people use to preserve their life, come from China. Apple's already talking about major losses. Adidas, the shoe company, is talking about major losses. People aren't working, so things aren't being made. That's going to affect the global economy. Prices will rise. Talking about a bird flu is going through China. They're killing tens of thousands of birds. Pigs. Meat prices are slowly creeping up because when people can't get their pork, they're going to eat other meats. And we all know that pork is an unclean food according to the Bible. It is unclean. Yah never called pork a food. Ever. He never said it was a food. So we see all these things happen, and my question is this. If you had set yourself apart and were growing your own food, you may not feel this the same way everyone else does. You may not feel it the way everyone else is going to. Because you're not dependent on the same system that everybody else has become dependent on. You're not a welfare recipient. What I mean by welfare is many people receive all types of welfares. It's more than just cash aid and food stamps. There's many types of welfare. Then there are those that are striving to grow their own food. Striving. I am. This garden right here. All this is a garden. We grew peppers and tomatoes here last year. This year, I tripled the garden, and I'm going to be canning a heck of a lot more. Because if your eyes are open, you can see the writing on the walls. This is not just about the coronavirus. This is about a system that is dying. a system. We don't have the ICU beds in this country. If this virus was to get bigger, we don't have the ICU. I'm telling you, we don't have the ICU beds. There's not enough ICU beds. 20% of the people need critical or intensive care. And it eventually goes to intensive care. We don't have the amount of beds that we need in this country to bed these people. And these people are requiring beds for weeks. What about those new cases? They're saying that a lot of people have the flu. The tests are coming back negative, and then they're coming back, oh, dang it, it was a positive. We don't know where this thing is going, and my question is to those of us in this faith, to all people, but to those of us in this faith, what are you doing about it? What moves are you making? If you look at our forefathers always made moves. They prayed to the Most High Yah, and He directed them, and that His direction was always in making a move. When it came to Sodom and Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot, he did not come out of her. So he received of the plagues of Sodom and Gomorrah. What plague was that? Fire and brimstone came and burned up everything he owned, including some of his family, some of his daughters. Because he did not come out. He lost his wife on the way out of Sodom and Gomorrah because she looked back. She was looking back at the things that imagine if Lot had never been there. See, men, we have a large responsibility for the saving of our families. The moves that we make, while they may not be popular for a season, for others, we know. Food scarcity, coronavirus, swine and bird flus, and all sorts of calamity, locusts, all sorts of weird weather patterns, just all sorts of things going on, and still people have their eyes closed. If anything, it should have provoked you to say, you know what, I got to start making and taking some steps. No, I don't have to go out there and store, 27,000 pounds of rice and corn, but I need to do something. Because if this virus does take a holding, which I believe that it is in the process, if not already has taken a holding in the States, if it does, are you going to be the one that wants to go to the grocery store? Are you going to be the one that wants to go and put yourself in a position and possibly take that virus home to your family? Do you want to be that person? When you could have obeyed the scriptures, obeyed the word, and come out? See, I don't think that people aren't. I believe that those that have been talking about coming out have plans. But I believe that for a lot of people, they have no plans. And rather than make any moves and make sacrifices, it's easier to just continue to not have a plan. The time is too serious. It's too serious to be playing games with our lives, our souls, our salvation, and we have a lot of that going on. A lot of people playing a lot of games with their souls, with their family souls, with their salvation, with their lives, with their well-being, with their health, over temporary satisfaction that ends. How can you read this Bible? How can you dive into the Apocrypha and read 2 Esdras 15 and 16 and not feel an urgency, especially with what we're seeing? How do you not feel? I'm not saying things are going to happen tomorrow. I'm not saying, but what if it does? What if things start falling apart and accelerating? And we know what is. The sin on this earth is getting crazy. People are doing all sorts of crazy stuff. People can't even handle their emotions anymore. We have men who call themselves men who emote and get all riled up in emotions and want to fight people and kill people over words. Coming from the hood, I wonder how these people would have made it back then. Oh, not even over words. Over words, on social media. That's why I don't spend my time searching out what people say about me. I got too much to do. I have a family who was relying on me to make wise decisions for the saving of my house, for the saving of my possible generations. You think I'm worried about what people have to say? I'm worried about planting more food, having my family eat organic, setting ourselves apart from this wicked, wicked ass world, obeying my master. I don't think, I know for a fact that not everybody is going to agree with it. I'm not doing it so that they can agree with it. I'm doing it to obey my Yah, my master, my husband. We've been given these commands. I'm so late to the party. I wish, not wish, but it bothers me that in my life I procrastinated and waited and wasted time and resources and money chasing frivolous things that I don't care about anymore. Thousands upon tens of thousands of dollars chasing shit. I'm thankful that Yah was merciful, that I was able to hear the word and do it. Not just be a hearer, but a doer. I thank the Father that my life is not about appeasing and presenting a facade of myself, but being about it. How do you look and see what we see in the news? How do you see these things and not make a move? Is it complacency, lethargy? You're docile? You don't believe? If you're not making moves now, then when the time really comes, you're not going to make a move. You're still going to continue to sit there and wait till it's too late, when you could have been a prudent man and foreseen the evil. Brother, I don't think that for those that have been talking about coming out, they don't have a plan. Oh, I know they have a plan. But I will tell you, for a large majority who don't come out, won't make the moves to come out, aren't serious about it, they don't have a plan and are not going to talk about it because they're going to have an answer. And when people don't have an answer, they don't really like discussing the problem. Because why discuss a problem when you've got no answer? Anyways, I hope this answers your question. I'm going to get back to work. Bless you. Shalom.